Alright, how's it going, guys? Steve from Broken Galaxy here. And we got the Sony State of Play coming up tonight. This is the first time they've done one of these in a little bit. I want to say this is the first time they've done one since pre-PS5 launching. PS5's been out for about 3 months now. Came out in November. So it looks like they said they're going to do like a deep dive into some upcoming titles. I think it said it's going to be about 30 minutes long. So it's starting in a few minutes. Countdown's up top, 5 p.m. Eastern time. So I figure I get in a little bit before. And I don't know if we're going to like speculation about what we're going to see. Obviously, the internet goes nuts anytime one of these things happens. Talking about Elden Ring and when's that going to come out and when are we going to see more of it. Sure, there's a shot of that happening. I pulled up real quick, like what's coming out that's on the PS5 over the next couple of months, kind of through the first half of the year. Yakuza Like a Dragon. I mean, it's a great game, but it's been out. It came out well over a year ago, I think, for the PS4, in Japan at the very least. Last year on Xbox and PC. I played it on PC. Great game, great game. If you only have a PS5 and that's your only means of playing something and you're interested in checking out that game, now's your chance. Coming out soon. The port of Disco Elysium is coming out. The port of Judgment is coming out to kind of go along with the Yakuza games. There's new Guilty Gear coming out. Deathloop is coming out. We've seen a lot of Deathloop, but it just got pushed back, so maybe we'll see a little bit more. And then kind of the two big ones are Ratchet and Clank, which just got the release date announced last week or the week before. That is now coming out on June 11th. That game looks absolutely incredible. It looks like it's really going to harness the system, for what the PS5 can do. I'm hoping that game is just like a complete and total showpiece. And then kind of the first, I guess, big major release, that's first party but not an exclusive anymore, is the Show 21, the baseball game. This is the first year where the show will no longer be PlayStation exclusive. It's been PlayStation exclusive since, oh my god, take a look here, 2006 or 2005. No, it was 2006. That's right. Those games actually, unlike other sports games, they come out the year that it is. Usually sports games like NBA 2K22 will be this year, despite the fact we're in 2021. So the show's coming out on the Xbox this year. It's also rumored to be coming out on the Switch. Who knows if they're going to wait until next year's version to do the Switch version, or maybe later on down the line, maybe around like All-Star break, we get the Switch version this year. Who knows? But it's just crazy to see an Xbox game case, a game that says coming to Xbox, that will have the PlayStation name on it. It's developed by San Diego Studio and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. It's crazy. A lot of people just years ago thought that cross-platform would never happen, and now not only do we have cross-platform, but we have first-party Sony games coming out on other systems. So I imagine at least a few of those games I just mentioned we'll see tonight. I don't know. I kind of just want to be surprised, when they did the State of Play or whatever they called it before the PS5 came out, and they showed like Miles Morales. That was totally out of left field. I thought the next time we would see that game would be when the true sequel comes out, Spider-Man 2 or whatever they want to call it. And I'm sure that that's what they're working on right now. But to kind of get that stopgap in the middle was a really, really nice surprise. The biggest question right now for Sony is, because they're in the driver's seat right now, ball's in their court. They've got the exclusives coming out. Microsoft doesn't have much. Halo's delayed. They just don't have a lot that's only going to be on Xbox and PC that's coming out. So this is really kind of Sony's time to capitalize. But really, I mean, anybody that's been paying attention, it's really not going to be the games that sell the systems right now. It's going to be whoever can get the systems in stock. I know that, a lot of places are getting them in a little bit at a time. Walmart had some a week or two ago. Best Buy had some recently. Sony had some on their site sprinkled in over the past few weeks. Newegg had some today, but they were only in their raffle system. So it's really going to kind of be, what do you see first when you walk into a store? What do you see first available to you when you're trying to buy online? And for a lot of parents, they're just going to grab that first one, I'm okay with waiting, kind of. I've been patient because I wasn't able to get one last year, so I've been patient. But my patience is starting to run out a little bit just because the show comes out in April, and I'm really looking forward to playing it. But here we go. Looks like we're firing up here. All right, Sony, what do you got? All right. It's the system.
There's some very unexpected developments
like
in your future.
Ratchet?
Shocking events
Yep.
that will change the course
Oh
of your
no,
life.
Crash. Okay.
That last part might have been a hair dramatic, but there's lots of awesome updates and additions coming to the Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time
All right,
experience
yeah.
on PlayStation 5.
I've heard
Everyone,
nothing but
Blue
positive
Star,
things
creative
about
producer
this.
at Toys for Bob. I'm here to give you the feature rundown
sounds
of
like it's
Crash
a really
Bandicoot
solid
4
game.
on PS5. That includes 4K at 60 frames per second, adaptive triggers, 3D audio, and more.
Let's make
Audio's
this
a
fun.
little weird.
Picking up where Crash Bandicoot Warp left off. In Crash
I gotta
Bandicoot
check
4,
this
It's
out.
About
I'd
Time,
like to.
we find the evil
The game looks
masterminds
great.
Neocortex and Dr. Entropy escaping a once thought inescapable interdimensional prison, leaving giant holes in the universe.
I didn't
What follows
keep up
is a
with the Crash
mind-bending adventure
franchise.
for
I
Crash
played
and his marsupial
Oh
pals.
boy, when I was a kid,
We
you know,
designed
the
Crash
original
Bandicoot
came
4
out.
to leap off
You know,
your
I played
screen,
that.
brimming with bold,
I played
vibrant
2,
environments
but
and
I
characters.
think that was it. I don't even
Crash
think I ever
Bandicoot
played
has
like
always
Crash
looked
Team
pretty
Racing
suave.
or anything. I think I
But wait until you
just
see
kind of
the
the
spinning
first
heads
one
in native
kind of
4K
dropped
at
off.
60 frames per second.
4K, 60.
With the weight
Well,
of the universe on
targeting
your
60
shoulders,
frames a second.
probably some
I
errands
have to
to run.
imagine they're going to
There's
be able
little
to
time to
pull
wait on
60
loading
frames a
screens.
second.
The DualSense wireless controllers bring adaptive triggers to your fingertips.
It's nice that
so
they're
you can feel the
you know,
blast of
really kind of
Neocortex's
doing what they can with the
DNA-changing ray
system
gun.
instead of just like, oh,
Or
here's
feel
a
the
port.
grip when you grapple
You know,
a ton
using
of
the
hook shot.
triggers, you know, using
Hold
the
on
things
tight
that are
when you
unique
feel the
to
boost
the
of
PlayStation
Crash's
5.
jetboard, and really feel the suck when you vacuum his dingo dial.
Really feel the
Looking
suck.
to get fully immersed in the Crash Bandicoot universe?
I really
Crank it up
can't
to
wait to
11
get my
and
hands
take your
on
audio into an
that
all-new
controller
dimension
and
with
really
enhanced 3D
mess
audio.
around with those triggers. I've heard nothing but just,
Achieving the
man,
infamous
once you play like
106%
Astro's
completion
Playroom,
is the
it's
sign of a
incredible.
true Bandicoot master. But should our genetically mutated marsupial lose his way? Leverage PlayStation 5 activity cards to track your progress and hit your goals for things like time trials, flashback
I wish I had
levels,
more reference with that
and boss
stuff, but
fights.
not having the system,
I
it
bet
makes it
Entropy wishes he had that.
you really have a point of
Bring
reference
your
for what those
incomplete
are.
save over from the PlayStation 4 and use the activity cards to get to 106%. Oh, and one more thing. If you own the PS4 version of the game, an upgrade option is available. Check out the PlayStation blog for full details. Whether it's your
that means
first
it costs money,
playthrough
but they don't
or
want to
your
tell you.
100th, there's no better time to
Probably
experience
just like
Crash
$10.
Bandicoot 4
I think that's
It's
what they're
About
doing
Time
with the
on
Tony
PlayStation
Hawk's
5.
one. It's just $10 to upgrade, which is what it is, you know. March 12th, cool.
Welcome back, Crash. The gang's all here on today's new edition of State of Play. We've got some great updates lined up for you. First, let's check out the latest on an eagerly anticipated game coming to the PS5 console
I forgot
this
about
spring
this.
from
Yeah,
PlayStation
it
Studios.
just got pushed back a little bit, but not
Hey
too
everyone,
much.
we at Housemark are excited to give you this sneak peek at Returnal. In Returnal, you will play as Celine, an Astra scout, who crash lands on an alien planet, Atropos, after receiving a mysterious signal, White Shadow. Players will explore this inscrutable, dark planet in search for answers and unfold mysteries, which may point to a larger force at play. Dashing and quickly maneuvering your way above and around
I have to
enemies is
imagine
key to
this
survival
game
in Returnal.
Plays pretty solid. You know, it just, well, I guess not play, but I mean, it just looks really smooth, really fluid. I mean, that's something that Housemark is kind of known for, right? It looks crazy.
With the large variety of enemies and the vast number of unique movesets each possess, combat situations prove challenging no matter what the circumstances.
This is the best this game has looked so far,
Death
to me at
is
least.
only the beginning.
Yeah, this is like a roguelike. Yeah, so you must... There's obviously that loop of you waking up.
Every time you die and restart, the world will change. The map will be different, enemies
Okay.
will appear in new locations and in differing numbers, so you have to think fast and adapt.
Cool.
Here you can see the use of the lightning alt-fire, which is great for crowd control. This is one of many alt-fires that you can acquire in the game.
I know a lot of people are getting burned out in the roguelike stuff, and honestly, I was for a while too. I mean, Rogue Legacy kind of like kicked off that kind of genre, at least to me. In
You will
terms
stumble
of me,
across
like,
mysterious devices
taking
that can
notice
grant
of it,
rewards
you
to the
know?
player. These will
there's
vary
been
from
so many
weapons,
since then. There's been a
consumables,
lot of great
and
ones. There's
upgrades,
been
and they
some
can
really, really good
completely
ones,
change
you
your
know?
playstyle and make each cycle feel unique.
This is starting
Besides
to
the
look
intense
more like
combat,
something I would
Returnal also
at
has
least
a deep
check out.
and engaging narrative. We allow players to
It's cool
piece
to
together
see
the puzzle that is
a
the
game of this
story
genre
Celine,
getting
as they venture
like the full
deeper and deeper
3D
into
third-person
Atropos and
treatment,
into her personal
and not
life.
just that kind of 2D style or the isometric style that
can't be
Hades
here.
has. It's cool to see them, or at least somebody taking a shot at this genre. And I don't know if you can consider this a AAA game. It looks AAA to me.
Manufactured.
But it's just kind of neat to see a genre that's kind of so closely linked to one type of visual style get that kind of shift to something else. It might draw some people in. There's some people that are just kind of done with the pixel art style and kind of done with that retro look. And maybe this will bring those people back into the fold, you know? Well, doesn't this look like PT?
Exactly as I left it.
I like the look of normal suburban house, but in an astronaut helmet.
Returnal lands on April 30th, and it's developed by the talented team at Housemarque. Next, let's take a closer look at a high-impact new
This is that
PS4
thing-
game called Knockout City.
Yeah, this is that thing we saw in the Nintendo Direct. This looks so bland. Like, it just looks so devoid of life.
Hi, I'm Josh from Bellin Studios. We're an indie
And I
developer
get that
based in
with
upstate
like a
New York,
battle
and we
royale
recently
game,
announced
you
Knockout
don't
City,
really have like
a
other
team-based
people
multiplayer
in
action
it.
game for
It's just the
PS4 where
players
rival
of
crews
the
settle their
game,
scores with
or if you're
epic
maybe
dodgeball
playing with
battles.
bots. You know,
Knockout
I don't know.
City
It's
is
just
easy to
something
pick up
about.
and play, but there's a lot of depth here for
It
those
just
who've
doesn't
got
look
the
like a
skills.
place that.
In our 1v1 face-off mode, you'll
It's
go
just
head-to-head in a
bland, it's just
constantly shrinking
empty.
battleground, relying on your reflexes and abilities to knock out an opponent. A well-timed catch powers up the ball, making it
I think
easier
the
to
ball
land a
thing
hit.
is cool. You know, something different.
Use trick
at
shots
least.
to lob a ball over a
Instead
ledge
of,
or hook it
you
around
know,
a corner.
That kind of loop of
Fake
like,
a throw
okay,
to mess up
we
your opponent's
land,
timing and knock
we
them out before
find,
they can recover.
you
When
know,
you're in a
what
tough
weapons
spot
we
with a ball
can.
flying your
You know,
way,
it looks
a
like
last-second
this
dodge
is
is the difference
a
between
weapon,
getting knocked out
you
and
know?
staying in the fight. Keep your wits about you and outplay your opponent to bring home a win.
It looks like very small areas, though. These don't look like these big open
Let's
landscapes.
jump into Team KO, our 3v3
And that's not
mode.
necessarily the worst thing in the world, because that can
Teamwork
kind of
makes the
cut
dream
down
work
on
in
a lot
Knockout
of that.
City.
Just
If your crew is
emptiness.
outmatched, a well-coordinated team
You
can
know, the
still
emptiness and
dominate.
traversal in a battle
We're
royale
playing
game.
at Back Alley Brawl, a new map that you'll find
So I
in
think,
our upcoming
with
crossplay
PUBG,
beta. The special
there's
ball
a
for this match
lot
is the
of
sniper
just
ball,
like
which locks onto
desolate
targets from far across
wasteland,
the
you
map
know,
and
where
bam,
you're just
you can
walking
take
and
them out
walking
before
and
they have a
walking,
chance
and
to
you know,
react.
maybe you're going to empty house to
Beyond
empty house to
special
empty
balls,
house.
each map
I
features
think
a unique
Apex
mechanic. In
kind
Back
of
Alley
bridged
Brawl,
that
you
a
can
little
hop into a
bit
tube and
with.
make a quick getaway or use them
It
to
doesn't
sneak up on
feel
your
like you're going
opponents.
for too long without running
Caught
into something
empty-handed?
interesting or
You can
running into
literally
another
become
player.
the ball, a new weapon
And
for your
obviously, this
teammate.
looks like it's taking it even further, really condensing it down
Or risk it
almost
all.
to.
Charge up a teammate, launch
It's
them
a battle
high into the
royale,
air
but
with
it's like an
ultimate
arena
throw, and they'll land in a
battle
huge
royale.
instant KO
So
explosion.
I see where they're going for. I see where they're going. I see what they're going for.
The team here at
And
Bellin has been obsessed
I think
with
it's a
building this
cool
world over the
idea
last 4 years.
in a
Knockout
cool
City is coming out
iteration
May 21st,
on
and we'd love your
a
help in
genre
the
that I
final
think has
stretch of
burned a lot of
development.
people out.
Rally your
Because
crew
at
and
this
sign up
point,
for our
most
crossplay
people that
beta
are
at
into those games have
knockoutscity.com
kind
to
of
play
found
early on
their
PlayStation.
game.
See you
They
soon,
found
ballers.
their PUBG, their Apex, their Valorant. I'm sure there's more. So this is tough. That's a lot of competition to go up against. But hey, they're doing a beta, and they'll get some people in there to check it out.
Time for something new. Here's your first look at an upcoming PS5 game from the team at Slow Clap.
Slow clap. All right. I don't think I know slow clap. What have they done? So it's the hallway scene in Homeboy? Okay. It's a cool concept. I'll give them that. It is a neat concept if that's what that game is. And is it a roguelike where you wake up and keep going? You're knocked out so long you grow a beard. Wait, as your beard grows, does that show you getting more powerful? Interesting. You start looking more and more like just like a grandmaster. That's cool. That game got my attention.
Sifu,
I want to see more of
PS5
that.
console later this year.
That's neat.
Now let's get an update on Solar Ash, an epic new PS5 adventure from Heart Machine.
Hey everyone,
I
I'm
feel like
Alex
I've seen this
Preston,
art style
creative
100
director
times
of Heart
now.
Machine. You might know us as the team behind Hyperlight Drifter. Today, I'm here to show you the first peek at gameplay for our new title, Solar Ash.
I just
Solar
feel
Ash
like you've
is a
seen
huge,
so many
stylish
games that
3D
look like this.
platformer focused on speed, movement, and fluidity. The game is set inside a giant black hole known as the Ultra Void, which has been consuming everything in its path. You play as Ray, a daring void runner who has decided to venture into this terrifying anomaly as
cool.
a last-ditch effort to save her homeworld. Ray is extremely agile.
Yeah, it really
able to
bummed
speed
out
across
the new
world
Star
with
Wars
abilities
movies when you
akin to
found out
skating.
that Snoke
On
wasn't
the
actually
ashen
like
clouds,
100 feet
she can
tall.
quickly cover great distances in our huge world. At its core, Solar Ash is a game about movement, and Ray has everything she needs to flow through the dangerous and unique world.
I can see, you know,
As you
getting
journey to
past
save your planet,
this
you'll
art
find yourself
style
face to
if the
face with
gameplay is
grotesque
just
and
really,
violent
really solid.
creatures. Our combat
Something
system
that
is
just,
simple,
I know I've
fast,
commented a bunch on it, but
built
there's
to
something really
empower players
off-putting
and
about games that
encourage
look
flow.
like this to me. I don't know what it is. I don't know if
As
it's
you
just because
explore
I've
the
seen it
Ultra
so
Void,
much, or maybe it's
enemy
just
encounters will scale
that
to
particular
greater and
style of
greater
art
sizes.
just doesn't appeal to me. It's one
Some
of
of
the
these
two or
creatures
both.
require speed and precise
But I
timing
think
to defeat.
these days, for me personally, I'll put a lot of that aside if the game itself is fun and addictive.
Ray will eventually need to face the massive sentinels of this void. Wretched, starved beasts that hold the key to her quest. Solar Ash is Heart Machine's vision of the adventure platformer. The giant spaces, the feel of movement, the flow of combat, and the high-stakes battles atop enormous beasts.
Wonder if everything
all
kind of
come
takes
together
place
to
in
bring
this
players something
one
we think
area,
is incredibly unique, and
or if
more
eventually
importantly,
you'll kind of
fun.
transition around. So I can see that getting
This
a little
game
samey
is a
after
labor
a
of
while.
love for everyone.
Oh, here you
on
go.
the Heart
Okay.
Machine
Yeah,
team.
there's like inside
We're
areas
excited
and
to bring
stuff.
Solar
Okay,
Ash
that's
to
cool.
PS5
Breaks it
and
up a little bit.
PS4 later
See,
this
that looks
year.
neat. That's cool. Coming out this year. Alrighty.
If you're a fan of scary games, this next one is for you.
Nope.
When I first found you, you were nothing. You were small, pathetic. But now,
Is this Five Nights at
more.
Freddy's?
Are you ready?
I'm gonna assume yes. I know nothing about those games, but oh, okay, that says Freddy. Okay. They take place at like a demented version of Chuck E. Cheese, right? Is that what that is? I know they were real hot for a while. I don't know if they're still popular or not.
Gregory, we can get you out of here. You and me together. They won't stop hunting you. None of them will stop hunting you.
This looks like an actual gameplay.
We have to get you out by morning.
as I say. You will bring me what
So I guess you're just on the run from the animatronic people and trying to accomplish something? I assume it sounds like she's trying to find this person? I have no idea. My best guess, though, is if you're into these games, that looks pretty cool.
There is more going on here than you realize.
I don't know if that's a spin-off or not, because it's called Security Breach, or if it's... Oh, it's called Five Nights at Freddy's Security
That
Breach.
was a chilling new look at Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Up next, let's take a tour of Oddworld
yeah.
Soulstorm.
Forgot they were doing this.
Hi, I'm Lauren Lanning, creative director
Yeah,
at Oddworld
Lauren Lanning.
Inhabitants. Today, I'm going to take you on a brief tour of our newest game, Oddworld Soulstorm.
They've always known you would come. Do you know why you have?
In Soulstorm, you reprise the role of Abe, accidental hero turned unlikely leader of an emerging revolution. As you do battle through weird and wonderful environments,
God, I remember
in an effort
seeing
to
the
escape
original
the all-powerful
Oddworld
and eternally
running on a
greedy
demo
Gluckons.
PS1, and just
We
being
really
blown
wanted
away
to
with
bring
the way
this
it looked.
world to
It
life
just looked
with what
so
we call
cool.
2.9D platforming, which adds much more depth and immersion for the player. This sense of connection is
that looks
also
nice.
reinforced through the use of the DualSense's haptic feedback, as you'll now be able to feel Abe's heartbeat in high alert and
wow.
suspenseful situations.
I remember seeing that thing. There was a blind
There are well over 1,000
video game
fellow
player that was able to
Wadakis you
play
must
through
try
all
to
this
save
game
along
because
the way.
or
But they
not
are
this
far
one, but an
more
older
than
one.
helpless workers
Because the
looking to be
audio
saved.
design was
When
so
used
good
effectively,
that he was
you'll be
able to
solve
figure out
puzzles,
where he
harness
was.
their combined
And I
energy,
wonder if
and be given the tools
that
they
combined
need
with
to
now the
fight
triggers
alongside
would
you.
provide
And there
even
will be
more
times when the
sensation
extra
for someone
hands
that
will be
doesn't
needed
get
as you face
the
off
visual
against an
aspect of the
array
game.
of heavily armed
that's
enemies
really,
that will
cool.
stop at nothing to find and end Abe once and for all.
This looks really nice.
In order to stand a chance against this much larger threat, we gave Abe the ability to scavenge, loot, and pickpocket items from his
cool.
surroundings and use them to craft an impressive arsenal of his own that he can share with others. You can also play as a non-lethal pacifist or an agent of chaos. We wanted you to have the choice. But there is one iconic ability for our shamanic protagonist, possession. This mystical power allows you to take control of your foes and use their strengths and weapons against them, or use them to gain access to paths still ahead.
The color
The
and
Oddworld
lighting
universe is a
really
diverse place,
good.
and this means
Because, I
that
mean,
there are some
has
environments and
such a
situations
drab
that require a
environment with
little
that
more
industrial
thought,
factory
patience,
kind
and
of look.
stealth.
That
You'll find dark
when
and
the
dangerous
color does
caves,
come
heavily
through,
guarded
that
industrial
contrast
sites,
is
and
just so
ancient forgotten
strong and
lands.
it's so striking.
Here, we've built lots of opportunities
Really,
for you
just
to
like,
test your
I
skills
think these
and
games have
find
always been
different
kind
ways
of like
to
the
handle things.
unsung hero of art design.
It won't be easy. If being hunted by an army backed by a shady and wealthy organization isn't bad enough, there are also more dangers in the forms of natural obstacles, ancient traps, trials against swarming dark creatures, and industrial hazards that must be dodged, crossed, and avoided. Ultimately, Abe's journey is one of hope, freedom, and truth. There is a rich and engaging narrative to discover in a world full of lies, and we've been able to bring our characters to life like never before. In true Oddworld fashion, your actions in-game will decide the fate of Abe and all those you manage to liberate along the way, and we can't wait to see what you will do.
Oh wow, that's way sooner than I thought. Maybe they already announced that. But that's cool. Man, April. There's a lot of stuff coming in April.
That was the latest on Oddworld Soulstorm.
I always get
And
worried
here's some
when you start
exciting
seeing
news.
all these
Active
months,
PlayStation
the
Plus
single
members
month
will
get
get the
packed so
PS5
full of
version
games.
for no extra
'Cause
cost,
it's just
starting
like one
in
of those
April.
things where it's like,
PS5
oh man,
version
what's
for
gonna get
no
delayed?
extra cost,
What's
starting
gonna
in
drop
April.
out? I really hope that doesn't happen because those games look. I mean,
Moving on.
everything that
it's
is
time
coming
to
out in
catch
April
up
that I
with
can think
Kena
of looks
Bridge of
pretty much good to
Spirits,
go.
A gorgeous new adventure we last saw in the June PS5 showcase.
God, was it that long ago? Last June? have this at? Okay. I want to make sure that was at 1080. This isn't coming across as 1080. But we're getting close. We're more than halfway through this thing.
They're usually timid.
I like what they've shown off so far for the most part. I think maybe people probably had a little bit of an unrealistic expectation for a bunch of AAA titles. I think we'll see more of those closer to summer, around traditional E3 time. But I think in terms of like games, I mean, some of these games may very well be full price, and they may consider them AAA titles. But I think a lot of this seems more like downloadable fare. Your solid, fun game that you're going to pay anywhere between 30 to 60. Well, I would say 30 to 40, but now it's probably more like 30 to 50 because regular games are 70 now. This has got a cool look.
Trapped spirits linger here, tangled in the tragedies of our past. You must help these spirits if you wish to reach the mountains.
It's okay. You have to go now.
I wonder if that'll be like a main mechanic in the game. Because all this is like gray and barren and dead. And a few moments ago they showed her kind of like revitalizing the area and bringing back plant life and greenery and all that. So I wonder if that'll be like the loop. You're kind of saving these areas. Oh, that's cool. If those platforms rise up and you're jumping around, that's neat.
You cannot stay here, Spirit. You must move on.
That looks cool.
Spirit guide is
that looks
the
neat.
only one.
August, alright.
Now let's settle in for a stylish new look at Deathloop, a PS5 first-person shooter developed by the team at Arcane.
I'll be honest, I have zero interest in this game, but man, there are some people that are so stoked on this.
Bring it, baby.
I wasn't able to get into Dishonored. I played like maybe like a third of it. Just kind of not my kind of game. But these guys, I mean, they know how to make a well-made game. Those games are just, they're not for me, but they're well-made games. And I think this is probably going to follow right along with that. I like that they're going like all in on this kind of retro 70s-ish look and feel, but it also looks futuristic too. It's definitely got a little bit of that No One Lives Forever, vibe to it. I love that they did their own song, very much like a Bond movie would do. Looking forward to seeing what IO Interactive does for their Bond game. I hope they just go like really outside the lines with who they get to do their song. I do wonder, though, if it's going to be this year or next year where people start to get burned out on these loop-style games. Because I get the feeling it's coming soon. I think there's been enough good ones that the genre has carved out its place. But I think eventually it's going to get to the point where so many people are going to try and do one, especially now that you have like Returnal having that AAA look. This is obviously a AAA game. You know, we're moving the genre past what it's been into something new, and I really think that it's probably clock is ticking. You know, if you're a developer that's making a game in this style, you better get your game in over the next couple of years.
Let's do it again tomorrow.
I like that recording studio look. This game has got some really nice set pieces in it. It's really nice art design.
Song's over, people. And so is Ramblin' Frank. The rest of you motherfuckers are next.
I assume this is the last game before, you know, everything transitions over to Microsoft or Bethesda. So obviously this was put in place before that deal,
Before we leave, how about a huge update for one of 2020's most celebrated games?
Oh, okay, yeah. Jeez. Totally forgot about that.
Barrett! Give me a break.
Jesse! Barrett!
Where you been?
Tifa! Help me!
Come on, let's push it past the red line! Now it's my turn!
I wonder if this is... I assume this is just a PS5 version, or is this actual new content? Who knows when the next part of this is coming out?
A touching reunion.
Well, guys, your girl finally made it to Midgard. My name is Yuffie, Materia Hunter and Elite Special Forces operative for the new Wutai government. We'll prove to our
They've done
common
such a
enemy
good
that
job with
Wutai
this.
is not to be trifled with. Members
They
of
took
Avalanche,
such a
we got
fragment
this.
of the original
Back.
game and fleshed it out
there you are.
so
Someone's been
much.
expecting you. What took you?
Sorry about that. Anyway, it's nice to meet you. I'm Sonon Kusakabe.
Where's Clown?
We lost him.
You what?
He will be okay, though, right?
Well, of course he will.
They're the ones who blew up the reactors. Cool. Should we say hi?
No, better not.
I didn't play
After
much
what
of Final
they've done,
Fantasy VII.
you
I
gotta
was
assume
kind of
Shiva's on
burned
their
out
tail.
after RPG started making that switch to 3D graphics. I played a lot of Super Nintendo era RPGs and just kind of, I don't know, just didn't make the transition. I mean, I owned 7. I bought it when it came out and played through it. I don't think I finished it, but this looks really, really nice, and I think it's certainly on my list. Whether or not this is part 1, more part 1, or this is actually part 2. But picking up that Final Fantasy VII Remake is certainly on my list when I get that PS5. Every once in a while, it's like once a year, I really just get that urge to crank into an RPG.
You guys should probably get moving.
I figure if I'm gonna get
Whatever
one,
it
this
is they're
seems
planning,
like
you're
the
better
way to
off
go.
out of it.
They deserve what's coming to them.
Yeah, they do. But I'm not your sister.
There you are.
Who are these jerks?
No clue. It just appeared.
Intergrade. Okay.
No.
Cool.
Let the hunt begin.
Wonder if this is like a stopgap or what exactly that is, but coming out in just a few months.
Get down here, Merc.
There are graphics on PS5. Yeah. Looks nice. I mean, the game already looked nice. Ooh, new fog. Quality of life, okay. Nice. Yeah, I imagine that's gonna be a big thing. Cool. Seems like when I finally get around to playing this, it'll be, you know, a worthy wait to get all these extra features. And I think for the people that already got it, they're just gonna be that much happier.
Wait, what?
I wish I remembered more of this game
You
to kind of understand what all of this is,
That's
but
how ninjas
I'm
do it.
assuming that it's just the game that already came out plus some extra stuff, and this is not, you know, even close to being part 2. I think part 2 is probably a ways off. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so new episode featuring Yuffie. Okay, yeah. So it's the same game plus a little bit extra. There are gonna be so many people that already played that game that are gonna jump right in.
That was the reveal of Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, coming to the PS5 console later this year. And that's our show.
That's it.
We hope you're as excited as we are for what's to come in 2021.
Cool stuff.
See you next time.
You know, nothing that like super jumps out, but some cool stuff. All right.